I was about to say double the red shit, but it's like quite could I say him over here, so I'll say double the youth. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to drop this before I go to bed because it's a mad one. It's something that it's been in the back of my mind for a while since I've seen it, but I didn't comment on it at the time. So it's about a month ago. Those of you who follow me, you know, like my mother passed recently, and I think that's part of the reason why. Well, it's a big part of the reason why I didn't comment on it at the time when I first saw this incident. A 90-year-old woman in a village in Ghana lynched to death, and I've watched different sections of the video, but I still haven't watched the bit. I couldn't watch the video from start to finish just completely, and it's hard to find the video in its full format now. Anyway, it's like in different bits, but like I say, it was very difficult to watch, and it you know, it was making me think about my mother. I was trying to think of why, like what's the connection. And I guess when I really sit down with myself, I think it's well, a few things. The fact that, you know, this woman's dying alone, essentially. That's the whole irony. She's surrounded by people, but she's dying alone because nobody is helping this woman. And you know, and I feel like my mom essentially was in that same situation. Like to divert quickly, you know, I basically changed my plans for the year. I guess even for the foreseeable future, I was gonna change my schedule in order to make sure that you know, my mom was dying, and I was gonna make sure that I was here. You know, when it happened, and due to this COVID bullshit that got taken away from me, and more importantly, it got taken away from my mum. It's the one thing that she asked, you know, when as things were becoming critical, just be here, you know, when it's my time to go. And you know, she was surrounded by doctors and nurses. They told me, you know, oh, don't worry, she didn't die alone, but it's not the same as being around your loved ones. And essentially, when I see this video of this Ghanaian lady getting lynched to death, I mean, it's not for exactly the same. No one was dying of natural causes, but you know, she died alone. This lady died alone, surrounded by people. They both died alone, surrounded by people. The difference being, obviously, in my mom's case, people were actually trying to help her in the hospital. So, you know, I'm not trying to say it's exactly the same thing, but it gave me that gut-wrenching feeling because of that you know, tenuous link between the two situations. And beyond that, it's just, to me, it's the most egregious. You know, killing I've seen this year. I've come across this year, you know, and it just makes me ask the question, like, okay, why aren't we talking about this? And pain is pain, death is death, murder is murder. It's not a competition. But what I'm saying is we need to ask the question, George Floyd gets a knee to the neck, suffocated to death. Global news, a 90-year-old Ghanaian lady lynched to death. Like, you know the thing that we always historically, you know, reference that the white people did to us. Black people, Africans, lynched a 90-year-old woman, and we're not talking about it. Interesting, right? So it begs the question, you know, why? Is it because it happened in Africa, so who gives a fuck? Is it because, oh, you know, it's black people killing black people. People. That's not really the agenda, you know. We only riot and we only protest when a white person kills black people, or when a police officer kills a black person. Is that what it is? I don't know. I just feel like if we're going to be talking about Black Lives Matter, then we've got to broaden the scale of what we're talking about. Like, when do Black Lives matter? What Black Lives matter? Is only a particular type of Black Lives that matter, or does it have to fit a particular scenario for Black Lives to matter? It's really the movement for me has become so disingenuous. It's hard for me to stomach. Yeah. So, just to give you a brief rundown, this lady was accused of witchcraft. I mean, Africans, we need to look at ourselves, like Ghanaians. I'm going to say my Ghanaians, even though, like, those you follow me on social media, and those you know about a little bit about African culture, names, language, and stuff. You might be wondering, what do you mean, man, Nick? You got a Ugandan surname. What you might not know is I am actually half Ghanaian, but I use my mother's name. I carry my mother's name. Ain't gonna lie, I'm not connected to the Ghanaian side of my family, but regardless, as I was gonna say as a black person and as an African, but in reality as a human being. Do you know what I'm saying? As a human being, like, this is something that you have to. I feel like, anyway, myself, I have to emphasize it. But specifically as Africans, specifically to my Ghanaians, I want to ask, man, like, listen, I've seen a lot of Ghanaians speak about this. I'm not going to act like it's something that, like, Ghanaians specifically swept under the rug. That's not true. But how is this happening? That's the question I want to ask. In 2020, how the fuck is shit like this happening? And, like, things like this, like, in one sense, I guess, I wanted to say in one sense, I guess, I don't want to use the word good, but it wouldn't be helpful, let's say, if this was global news, because it's just another thing for bougie, upper class Western white people to look at Africa and say, look at these savages. So in that sense, I guess you could look at it like that, but I don't really give a fuck about that in the sense of it's something that needs to be addressed. And again, not to say that Ghanaians haven't been addressing it, but it brings me back to what I was saying from the beginning, is where's Black Lives Matter on this issue? Like, I really want, like, to know. I mean, listen, to be honest with you, I know the answers, but I want to hear from people. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I personally believe I know the answers, because the BLM movement is so disingenuous at the moment. So who gives a fuck about a 90-year-old woman in Ghana? Like, I suppose. Africans, we got to do better. We got to do better. In 2020, we're accusing people of witchcraft. Come on, man. To give you guys a little bit more context, so I did a little bit more digging into why she was accused of witchcraft. So apparently, like, speaking to Ghanaians, it's it's actually a thing, a traditional thing. I guess like this was a small town in Ghana, so I'm not going to say that this particular town represents Accra, for example. Like, you know what I mean? People, I'm sure you go to the more metropolitan areas and people will think that this type of thinking is just loony, but it's a traditional belief that women of a certain age, basically once you start presenting grey hairs, like a tweet I saw was from a Ghanaian lady was, my mother always told me, watch out once you start to grow grey hairs, that's when you'll be accused of being a witch. So essentially, having grey hair is and being a woman equals being a witch. Like, okay, and there's people in 2020 that still believe this. Crazy. Come on. Gladly, the main culprits who were beating this woman to death have been arrested. I saw a citizen's arrest video earlier tonight, and this lady was saying that she was possessed. She was like possessed by a spirit, and she didn't realize she was beating up a 90-year-old lady. Really, you were possessed by a spirit, but like once the video was uploaded and went viral within Ghana and the Ghanaian community and the African community in general, suddenly you had the presence of mind to run and leave your village and try and, but you were possessed by a spirit. You didn't know what you were doing. Okay, sure. It's interesting. It's always like Africans know what I'm talking about when I say there's always a spirit that possessed you to do anything. It wasn't some crazy idea you had in your head. It was a spirit. So gladly these people have been arrested. The Prime Minister of Ghana has completely condoned this action. Look, just right, 90-year-old woman lynched in Ghana. If you want to see the video, I think, like I said, I think it's going to be very hard to actually see the whole video, but you'll see clips. It's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see, and with everything that's going on with the civil unrest in the world right now, it's just very interesting, for lack of a better word, how I haven't heard anything from Black Lives Matter on this. Like, surely, if Black Lives Matter, it should matter when we're killing each other. See, this is the note that I'm going to leave on. This is the note that I'm going to leave on. It's again, for lack of a better word, it's very interesting how we've been so quick to protest against police brutality, which we should be doing, whether you're black, white, yellow, whatever. But it's interesting how we're so quick to protest against police brutality, but we're acting like every incident of police brutality must be racial. Let me dig deep into what I'm saying. Of course there's racism in the policing when you're talking about UK, America, Europe. Of course there's racism. I don't think any logical person... Remember I said logical person, yeah? So I don't think any logical person denies the fact that there's racism within the institution of the police. What I'm saying is, does that mean every time you see a police officer killing somebody, a white police officer, killing somebody who's not white, is it because racist? It's possible. It's always possible, for sure. But we've come to this stage where it's a foregone conclusion. White officer killed a black man, the guy's racist. The guy could just be like a lunatic and really doesn't give a fuck about race. And the reason why I say that is, why isn't it that nobody was talking about Daniel Shavers, for example? You heard the name? If you haven't, ask yourself why. Google it. Google it. So here's the thing, yeah? It doesn't... Listen, whether you believe police are hunting down black people and killing them or not, in the long run, when it comes to fighting police brutality, it doesn't matter in the sense of if we focus on getting rid of police brutality, or at least maybe we can never get rid of it, but at least limiting it, it helps all people, black, white, or otherwise. Let's not act like white people don't get killed by the police too. Whether or not you believe white people get killed less or not, let's not act like it doesn't happen. The fact that we know that it happens, young black men out there, ask yourself this question. Why is it that we're always throwing images of black men getting killed by the police? Black people in general, but especially black men, but black people in general. Why is that always fed to us? Yeah, we don't hear about Daniel Shavers. There's another, I can't remember. Look, even me who's pushing this argument right now, I can't even remember the name of the next person I'm trying to think of. But there is a young man, a young white young man who, I believe like a year ago, maybe it's closer to 18 months, was killed in almost an identical way to George Floyd. But we ain't heard about it. So all I'm not asking you, I'm not saying drop all your beliefs, whatever. I'm just asking you to question something here. Why haven't we heard of these killings, at least to the same level? They don't make, they don't make this global, international headline level news. Could it be that people are trying to shape our reality? And what better way to shape your reality by showing you this is what will happen to you. This is the value of your life. Just some food for thought. Just some food for thought. So, I'm going to leave on that. And I'll just say, check out this video if you want. Actually, in fact, you don't have to share the video. If you want to see what I'm talking about, check out this video. I don't think you're going to see the full video. And I'm going to leave you with the question: if Black lives really matter, why do we only talk about Black lives mattering in a specific context? That's all I want to know. Have a blessed day. Catch you on the flip side. Ciao.